Today, I'm revealing how much money I've made from my digital product store on Etsy by popular request. I know I've been gone for a while. I do apologize, but I'm back for now, and hopefully this video will be helpful and interesting if you're thinking about selling digital products on Etsy. Obviously, I am just one example. Your results will vary depending on a lot of different factors, mostly the quality of your products and the traffic that you have. So in this video, I will be revealing my all-time revenue for this shop, my shop's profit, so that's how much I get to keep after fees that actually goes into my bank account, my shop's conversion rate, and all of this is from uploading 273 digital products. So I did put 200 in the title because I know people are more likely to click if it's a round number. Don't bash me for that, okay? But just to confirm, the amount of things uploaded on this store is currently at 273. I think that's a pretty realistic number for most people to achieve if you're getting into this, especially over a few years. I'll be talking about how I started this store and especially some issues that I ran into, which you might face as well. We'll be breaking down my traffic sources, talking about what types of products and strategies that I've tried and what has worked, what's not worked, and also revealing my most sold and most profitable category of items. And finally, I'm revealing how this shop of mine compares to all other Etsy shops in terms of like what top percentage of seller it comes under in terms of number of sales. And we're going to do them in this order. That's right, saving the best for last. So I opened this shop in September of 2021. I uploaded like 3 things and it just got suspended in a week, as you do. I emailed them, tried logging on 2 days later, and it just wasn't suspended anymore. So yeah, and then a week later, I made my first sale on this store. So I kept uploading until I reached about 50 listings, and I've never consistently uploaded on this shop. It was mostly a side project. But I think most things on here were uploaded in 2022. So that was when I was most active on this store. I haven't done anything on it at all in 2024 yet so far. So all the money that I'm making currently from this store is just completely passive because it's digital downloads. So all time, I've had 28.8k visitors on this store. So to show you some info about where most of my customers come from, taking this from my Google Analytics page, and I've set the time to 1st of January 2021. We can see that most of my traffic comes from the USA, although there's quite a lot from different countries as well. Now, if we go to my traffic acquisition page, this shows us how users actually found my store. Most of this is all direct, meaning that the users went directly through Etsy and they found me. Some found me through Google and others through paid shopping ads, which Etsy also pays for on my behalf. So yeah, as you can see here, obviously it shows a lot less traffic than my Etsy dashboard because I didn't connect this analytics account until I started selling for a while, but you get the point. So where like the most of my traffic breakdown comes from. So I did not post on social media or use influencers at all. All I did was just upload and put keywords in my title, description, and tags. These numbers are, just from random people sharing on social media, my stuff, really not in my control. I didn't use email marketing either, or from like a private list or anything. All of this was from Etsy's built-in email marketing. So all I did for this store was upload listings. Now, if you have a closer look at the direct traffic, which you can see in my Etsy dashboard, you can see that the overwhelming majority of traffic comes from the Etsy app and Etsy search. So this is when people are browsing your different products on Etsy, they'll see you next to a competitor or just in the search basically. Now, in terms of Etsy ads, I did spend like $250 in 2021 on Etsy ads. I did not get great results, so I turned those off. I do wish I could show you those results, but the stats don't go back that far on the ads for some reason. But yeah, you can see that I haven't spent anything on ads since 2022. So most of this is purely organic. My return on ad spend was between 1 and 1.5. So it was just breaking even from what I can remember. But overall, a pretty insignificant portion of my traffic. Now, in terms of products and what's sold and what not sold, I've tried many things, you know, shiny object syndrome, going from different thing to different thing when I think there's potential. So I've tried fonts, graphics, so SVGs, business templates and assets, printables as well. But most of these 273 listings I've got up are fonts and graphics, and I offer them individually or in bundles as well as a zip file. So my top revenue product so far is this font bundle that's got multiple fonts in a zip file. So it's made me about £700 from this one product alone, which is about $890. Fonts sold well, both, you know, bundles and individual fonts initially, but then they kind of died down at the end of 2022. And the SVGs actually started selling a lot better. So at one point I had one person just like repeatedly paying me to make custom SVGs. It was like $30 per SVG. It was actually pretty good money, but then I was like, no, these take me too long to make. I can't keep doing this. But yeah, I think both fonts and SVGs are pretty competitive categories nowadays, but overall probably still okay to sell in, because even with not that many listings, I've still been able to make some money. So yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown. I've sold a few business templates. I sold like 3 printables. Those just haven't really worked for me, but then again, I haven't uploaded many of them, so they may work for you. I wouldn't, you know, rule them out or anything. Finally, let's get to the stuff that you all came to see. So my conversion rate was 6.1%. This increases to about, 8%-ish during Q4. It's pretty stable throughout the rest of the year. The dashboard says I have 1,745 orders. It's actually a few more of this, as you'll see later, because the dashboard lags. There's not really that much of a difference. And my revenue is £4,639.60. Most of my audience is from the US, so that is $5,925 in today's conversion rate. So let me just refresh the page for all you skeptics. Right, so the revenue does get much higher in Q4 usually, so we're at the end of Q2 right now. Not really surprised that sales are down, but overall, having done close to nothing to this store for the past 6 months, I'll take a few extra $1,000, thank you. So obviously, if you've been watching a lot of Etsy YouTube, you've been seeing all these big numbers, you might be like, that's not that much. But remember that this, compared to physical products, this is almost all profit, and you don't have to do any work fulfilling orders. So if you want to calculate the profit for this overall shop, go to my payment account. For every time I get a payout, the fees is about 22%, right? It's pretty consistent. Now, unfortunately, I'm not about to get out all my tax returns to calculate you a figure to the exact decimal point, but we can give a pretty reasonable estimate with this calculation. So if we do 0.78 times 5,925, so that's taking away 22% minus $300 for the approximate amount that I spent on ads, that is $4,321 of profit from this store. Now, if we compare to all the shops on Etsy, when we look at number of sales, this does put this shop in the top 5.3% of all shops, according to eRank. Let me just refresh that. Right, so if you are new to Etsy, you might be seeing this and you might be panicking, like, if this is a top 5% shop, then how am I supposed to quit my job and become a millionaire selling digital products? Okay, this is calculated by number of sales and not revenue or profit. So there's going to be a lot of other shops that have made less sales but more money. And secondly, there's a lot of shops that have 0 or less than 10 sales. So it's just people opening a shop and putting 0 effort into it. Yeah, that's including all of those here. Results not guaranteed, but just based on my own experience with this shop, which is pretty much like spare time, energy kind of deal, there's definitely potential to make a lot more with this, with digital products if you put more time in. I made about 50 original fonts, which, okay, each one of them individually did take a while to make, but for the rest of the uploads, they were just bundles of 5, bundles of 10 of those fonts that I've already made and uploaded. And most of my SVG designs I just uploaded for my print on demand store that I re-uploaded here. So personally, I don't think it's a terrible side hustle proportionally in terms of effort to reward. On top of that, the passive nature of it is pretty nice. I also do run a print on demand store on Etsy, so if you want to see some of the stats behind that, you can watch this video here on screen right now. Hopefully that was informative and helpful, gave you a little insight into the kinds of numbers that you can expect. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.